Hello, hello. This is Tracy Nova, and this is Aura Crown Presents the Empowered Podcast. We have a very special guest today, and this is Sivan. Thank you for being on here. And she is a an abundance coach, an entrepreneur, a full-time mother. She has a fashion brand in Africa. And she owns this beautiful land, which is where we are right now, called Wonder Valley Hot Springs in Joshua Tree, California.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on the podcast. Thanks for coming all the way here.
Yeah, thanks for having us here too.
Yeah.
So, I want to dive into your coaching.
Yes.
And you have this method called the Be, Act, Receive method. And can you go more into detail on that? Like how, like in simple terms, what is it? And then I would like to know, how did this come up into your life?
Yes. Where should I start? I think the foundation of everything I coach is we live in an abundant world. We live in an abundant universe. And I want to help people shift anything that's in scarcity in their lives into abundance. And so I talk about full spectrum abundance, meaning anything, right? I think people focus on just money or materials or maybe trips. And I want to include everything, like how your relationships are, how your health is, how your relationship with yourself is, how your impact is in the world, right? All these things matter for us. And it's not just material, but I think a lot of people focus on just that. So what I do with the Be, Act, Receive method is just help people shift from scarcity, which is 99% of, I think, what we hear, in the media and in politics and just around us and sometimes in our upbringings, often, right? How we're programmed often, our ego, shift that into abundance so that we can see how much is possible for us. And so the method... I love your face.
I'm getting chills.
Good.
I'm getting chills because our ancestors, they came from a scarcity mindset. So I feel like this generation, we're like, we gotta change this.
We have to, and it's our home, right? Abundance is our home. And I don't know why we ended up in so much scarcity, but this is the time to move into abundance for sure. And if you look at nature, it's abundant, even here in the desert. Right, that's why we called our daughter Leaf. Her name is Leaf because the trees and how like nature just grows in the desert is just so abundant and so beautiful and
yes,
just gorgeous.
Yes, all of that. And a lot of people, they come into the desert and they're like, "There's nothing here." But then when I go look, I'm like, that plant has medicine.
Right.
This tree is able to grow in the desert and survive. Plus make babies.
Right. And then the flowers that come up out of nowhere, right? In the spring, or just the monsoons we talked about, like just these rainstorms that are coming over, and it's just magical. And I think maybe in the desert you feel that even more, that there's so much magic. And the moonrise last night.
So beautiful.
So there's so much beauty, right? But when we're stuck in the scarcity of the never enough, and I'm not good enough, and it's not possible, and we can't have it all, then you won't be able to see all that, right? There's nothing in the desert. Like, how are you going to survive? And so I teach people how to shift into abundance through the Be, Act, Receive method. And I do that because I don't think that manifestation comes like that. Maybe, yes, you can think about something and then it will come. And I believe that 100%. However, if you don't have a solid foundation to receive that manifestation on and build on it and, go with that, then, it's going to come and it's going to go. And maybe your mind still is like in negativity and scarcity. And so what I help people do is like build that solid foundation, build a different foundation. So let's say our life, our house is built on like a rotten, foundation. We can patch it with therapy and with little, band-aids, or we can just build a whole new foundation. And I think that's what I'm inviting people into, is like build that new foundation, because then everything becomes easy. So B stands for be your beautiful self. You're here to be yourself, no one else. You're here to be authentic. And we know that, but it's so hard to do that in a world that constantly tells you you should look different, you should be younger, you should, whatever, how you should raise your kids. What if there's a crisis coming, right? There's so many fear things that are limiting us. So be your beautiful self. And even like, building a podcast or building a movement or like, we get setbacks or challenges and we have to move through them. But those are not telling us to stop, but for some people it does, right? So I help people be their beautiful self. Foundation number 1. Foundation number 2 is act. Act with courage because the universe rewards action. And when we are first in alignment on what we want to do and then act, then things are really starting to flow for us. And I think what a lot of people say, just do it. So they're like, yeah, I should just be thinking more positively, or yeah, I should just do that and build that company or start this podcast or, whatever they want to do. But it's not lasting. And then they get frustrated with themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then I bring them back to B, which is be your beautiful self, where we are looking into like what's working, what's not working. How do you love yourself more? And how do you tune into your intuition? That's the first step. B, act, take action, plan, make a plan, set goals, take action. And there's some accountability there because we need it, right? We cannot do it alone. We need accountability. And then receive is the third layer because we tend to forget how to receive. Like no one taught us how to receive.
Right.
And this is a funny example that I give people. It's like when someone asks you, can I help you? When you're walking with like all your groceries to the car and you don't want to take a plastic bag or something. And someone's like, can I help you? You're like, no, I got this. We always have to be strong.
Yeah.
It's like, what if you start saying yes? Just to that simple thing and just be like, yeah, sure. Even if it's something stupid, I'm carrying 2 things. Yeah. Can you handle one? Right? Receive that help that's being offered to you. And I get chills for this one because we don't. And I guess that brings me to my story of how I got here. I was building my fashion brand out of Rwanda and Holland, where I used to live, Netherlands. And I was struggling. Like I was truly following my heart. Like I was really doing what I believed was the right thing. And against all odds, like I didn't have an entrepreneurial background. My family wasn't entrepreneurial. I didn't have the money. Like it was just like, we're doing this. We're creating beauty and we're working fair trade. We're working together with these beautiful artisans in Rwanda. We're creating beauty that people buy because they love it, not out of pity, which is what was the story in 2013. That was kind of like, the things. So we do this against all odds. I do this like beautiful brand, but nothing seemed to work. And the only way I was measuring my success was like how many hours I would put into it.
Oh, wow.
Which is a recipe for burnout,
Yeah.
But there was no financial success because building a brand costs a lot of money. So they say something about like 7 years before you have your return on investment back, which I didn't know when I started. And so my only measurement for success was how much money, how much time I was putting into it. And, and it was never enough because I felt I was never enough. I felt what I did was never enough. And what I was getting was never enough.
Wow. Yeah.
So that didn't work.
Within, as without, right?
Yeah. But, like if we don't know how to receive, like how are we going to see what's been given to us? Because I did get press. I did get, people coming to my events. I did get people buying my stuff. Like it was there, but it was never enough. And so, you're in that energy of scarcity that just limits us. And I truly believe, and I know we're totally on the same page on this, is like we all have beauty to offer the world, and we all have this fire within us, whether it's about one single thing or whether it's about, contributing to a certain area. And we let ourselves be stopped, even though I believe that's the blueprint for heaven on earth. If we all would follow our hearts, like we would all contribute to an area that needs contribution. And it's so needed, right? Whether it's food or health or, mindset or environment or war. So we need everyone on board. That's what I believe. Yeah. So to be act receive helps me and helps anyone and wherever they are. Also,
yeah,
which is cool.
That is wow. I I'm getting so many chills.
Good.
And I won't stop. And I'm just like, just like taking everything that you're saying in. And it's funny because, so the B, like being authentic. There are maybe studies, or people are saying that authenticity is a higher frequency than love. But when you're authentic, then that means you love yourself.
Yeah, I think it's the same. This is how I see it for people. Like I'm very I guess visual in how I think. So I have a very simple presentation, like a very simple screen for my clients that I work with. It's just like you're either in scarcity or you're in abundance. Meaning you're either suffering or you are at peace. You're either hiding or you're shining, right? Which is the authenticity. You're either in fear or you're in love. So I don't know if we have to differentiate between all the different levels of frequency. I think you just have to be in abundance and you have to be in love and you have to be in authenticity and you have to take full responsibility, because that is where your power is. And that is where the beautiful things happen. And I sometimes say nothing good happens in scarcity, which I don't think is true. I think, a lot of people are in scarcity and still good things happen because we live in an abundant universe. But much better things happen when we shift into abundance. And shifting into abundance only takes a second. When you choose to shift, that's it. Right? So it's
I love it. I love all of it.
Good. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I don't know about those levels. I do believe that we could be happy and we could be more happy or more joyous or more, we could be like a lot of time in stress, or it can be less time in stress. Something happens and we lessen our stress, or the time that we are like with a pit in our stomach. So I do think we can like decrease the time that we're in scarcity and increase the time that we're in abundance. And I think that will, build on top of each other and become even better. But I think what I love about the Be Act Receive is that it meets you wherever you are. Right? Some people I'm now like seeing online like millions a month, right? They're making millions a month. And that's amazing. I think, yes, we can manifest anything, but let's meet you where you are right now. And let's, instead of manifesting maybe that making it a lot of money, like, no, let's just look at your whole life and see, what is in scarcity and how can we shift that, so that as you build a solid foundation of like a steady life that you can then build on and have anything you want.
Yes.
Ultimately.
Yes. So is this like, how do you offer this?
I started one-on-ones, right?
Okay.
But now I launched the Courage Club, which is a membership for $100 a month. And it's a minimum of 6 months because I want people to go through my method, which is 10 steps. Be Act Receive. It's all 3, 3, 3, and then 1, 2, just come back to the beginning. So people walk through those steps in their own pace and do homework for each step in their own pace. And then they can start over. Because what I believe is that you can use this method no matter where you are in life, and that it kind of gives you a map how to navigate whatever you want to achieve. So when I offer the membership, you come in and you take the steps, and then you can start over again for step 1, charting, saying what is not working, what do I want, which you can ask yourself wherever you are in life, right? And it will change, and you will work on different goals. But I really like I don't know if this answers your question, but I really wanted it to be ingrained in people's system of like, oh, I always can come back to step number 1.
Okay, yeah.
And see, like, this is the charting step of being. What is not working and what do I want? And from there, take that whole journey. And in the membership, it's like you take those steps by yourself, watch the videos, do the homework, but then we get together every other week in a call to just discuss how it's going for everyone, what the challenges are, and where they are in scarcity, where they can't see how to shift. And then there's an online platform. So that's that offering.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful and it's so powerful. And I want it to be transformational. Like that's what I want it to be. Like people start working with me and 3 months later, they look back at what they wrote down, that snapshot, what's not working, what do I want, and they don't recognize themselves anymore. They're like, who was that person? Like, I have no idea how, like, I'm
getting emotional.
Why? Tell me.
Oh my god. I love like transformations and just people like bettering themselves. But I think I'm also emotional because of the hormones.
Oh, of course. You're feeling the love. Like the love is just amplifying.
Yeah.
Yes. No, like, and that's one thing I did. The chapter 8 is about decoding the codes of the universe, the language in which the universe communicates with us. Which I guess you feel it more when you're pregnant because of all the hormones, but we can feel these emotions always, right?
Yeah.
And so the more you are aligned in your being, the more you can hear what the universe is saying to you. And one of the ways it's talking to you is tears, right? It's tears of love. It's like the shivers. It's like the universe is saying, true, this is true. This feels real. Like this is aligned.
Definitely.
So I love all those emotions, like communicating through us.
Thank you, universe.
Yeah.
For these. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, so I'm like trying to like center myself, ground myself.
You're good. I'm sure, like, when you're feeling this way, people are feeling this way, right? When they're listening to this. So that's
especially the ones that are like, yes, this is what I need.
Oh, yes.
Which is a lot of people, because we can be
everyone
scarce in like so many different categories.
Yeah.
Love, money, happiness,
health.
Whatever. Yeah, health. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm like that's what I love about my method is like there's millions of tools out there, right? Crystals, Reiki, tarot, astrology, prayer, even church or like AA, there's all the tools, whatever it is. There's so tools out there. What I help people see is that there's always an abundant solution. And then on their own, they're going to find what their solution is. They're going to take action on their goals. But I'm not telling them like, oh, like these are the 5 tools that we're all using. It's like, no, you go out there and find your own tools. But I help you set the goal. And I help you make sure that that is aligned with who you are, be, and then set the goal for act. Right? And then I help you see what has been given to you through the method and, through the reflections. And like I said, the tools are endless. But what I help people is like build that other foundation so that they can see that anything they're struggling with, that maybe they've been stuck on for years and years and years, that there's an abundant solution for that.
Yes.
And sometimes it's as simple as just writing down what is the sentence that's going on in my head forever, and what is a simple solution. Oh, I should just talk to that person. Oh, okay, done. Or whatever. Oh, my house is always a mess. Okay, maybe I should just throw away half of the things that I have. Like whatever it is, right? Yeah. Sometimes it's just so simple, and sometimes, you need more work, right? I had one client, and she has her own business, and she, never had money, and was like feeling like she was stealing from her company. It's like, you're not stealing from your company, but like she was feeling that way. And for her, like we've been working now for 2 years because yes, if you have a business, you have to build a solid, financial structure. There's a lot of details. She's doing interior design. So that's like, quoting people and where do you get your margins and all these things. Like that's a long journey, and we're on the other side of it. So that took longer. Other things are just like that. So that's why I'm saying it's not like an instant thing, but the shift from scarcity into abundance, that's instant. The way you see it, right? The way you want to choose how to.
Yeah, and it's funny because when things just click all of a sudden, at least for me, I'm like, how come I did not see that?
Right.
What?
Well, maybe that's the thing that people don't recognize. It's like, why was I there? Because now I see all these other things that I've never seen. Yeah. Because if you knew better, you would have done it differently earlier. Right? So, I mean, and there's reasons for why we don't see it, because I think, in general, the scarcity is, I always say our society is built on scarcity and our universe is wired for abundance. Like our existence is wired for abundance. We are abundance. Our society is built on scarcity because it's constantly yapping. saying like, not enough, not enough, not good enough, perfectionism,
Yeah.
overgiving, whatever it is, fitting in.
Yeah.
And it's just hurt people, right? It's just you internalize what's not good for you, and then you give it forward to someone else. Or when they're doing something and they're like, oh my God, are you going to Bali? Because I'm going to Bali. It's like, oh, you're going to Bali. And then maybe you're like, oh, you're flying a lot, like they're just like sharing their negativity that they have in themselves. So it's just like, it's just a negativity, like continuation.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So to step out of it is a really radical thing to do.
Yeah. And that's almost like how, like stopping karmic loop cycles too. You just have to pick yourself up and take yourself out of there.
Yeah.
Don't repeat the same thing.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
But it's not easy, right? And there's so many reasons why that situation came about. The real reason why, I don't know, right? Why are we here? Why are we doing what we're doing? Why do we have to go through whatever? I don't know. But yeah, there's so many causes for that situation. So to remove yourself is a challenge. But that's what I love about in the one-on-one work. Like I reflect that back to people, but in the group, in the membership, like it's actually a group that's reflecting that back to each other. So it's just amplifying, right? One person is showing like, hey, this happened to me. And then someone else is like, oh, if that happens to her, I can, I know where she's coming from. Can this happen for me too? Let me try. Right? Let me step out of that scarcity that my whole family is talking about and see if that would work for her, what will work for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool about the group. We need that.
Yeah.
And that's the same as for this podcast, right? We need to hear these stories so that we can see how we can do it for ourselves.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love all of it.
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, and it's funny because as you're speaking about all of this, I'm like seeing and hearing all these things like in my past where I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, that was another one. I'm like, wow. It's just mind blowing to have that come into like the conscious mind and be like, okay, yeah, I got some work to do still. But I love it all. Oh my gosh.
So when you say I have some work to do still, like, you want to share something about what's coming to mind?
Yeah, I mean, there's like so many different things, and some of it is my business. And I would hear, like those thoughts of like, oh, you don't have enough time to take on this many clients, or you don't have enough time to create all these courses and record and then put it out there and make sure it's the best, make sure it's perfect, right? Make sure you don't get any negative reviews. And we all know that as a successful person, they're going to have negative reviews. They're going to have people that don't align with them, and they're going to talk crap. You know?
Well, these people there's a lot of people in scarcity, so it's not a surprise that someone would like spit that scarcity on you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And, being in this perfectionism, or I don't have enough time because I'm a mom and I'm doing all these things, I'm pregnant and blah, 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 blah. It's like those are limiting beliefs, and they are stopping me from fulfilling what I came here to do.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. So what I want to say about that, number one, which I love from the book, The Four Agreements.
Okay.
Have you read that? Four Agreements. And he says, we come into this world, or I don't know if we come into this world, but like in the beginning, like we get like 95% of our thoughts are limiting beliefs. So like, and I believe like a scarcity society is like 99% is just, bullshit. And so we will always have a lot of those. Anyway, all of us. And I totally recognize the ones that you're saying. And, there's scarcity on so many levels, because also, why does it have to be faster? Does it have to be now? Like, are you also in that process of like taking care of the business, also of yourself, right? So that's why I always like to start with be. Like, really be honest very honest. Like I'm all about full integrity, like highest integrity, full responsibility. Be honest, like, okay, what's not working and what do you want? And in that, like, okay, the first thing that comes to mind in your case, right? Or many people that listen, that want to start businesses or speak their truth online or share more. It's like, what's not working? Okay, I'm not doing enough. I, want to do this, whatever, these courses, recording. It's not working because I don't have time. Da, 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 da. But then I'm also asking you, like, okay, what about your family? What's not working there? I feel I'm not present enough, with my kids at some points, or, I want to take trips and I never have time, or blah, blah, blah. Right. Mm-hmm. So we're also going over those. And then in your relationship, and then in your health, right? Because you're also pregnant, like you're about to give birth soon. Like, you might also have things like, oh, I don't have time to prepare for this, this baby's getting no attention compared to the other three or whatever, right? There could be like all these different things. So we note them all down to be like, what's the full picture? Right? Because it's not just the work, it's everything that makes that, alignment. And I feel this right now when I'm talking about this, like it's all the things. When you note down all the things, and we're so much better in saying what's not working. Again, scarcity society, programming our mind, right? We're so much better at that. Then I ask you, okay, so what do you want? What do you want? Okay, so I want to launch this. I want to move it through, move the energy. Isn't that great that the energy just moves, right? Energy, no. So what is it? Emotions are energy in motion. So they're just moving, and kids are just always like immediately moving their energy and their emotions, and we're like holding on to them. So this is good. We're moving them all through. But so the question is, okay, so what do you want? Right? Okay, so I want this for my business. I want this for my family. I want to be present. I want to spend this amount of time, Okay, we all have 168 hours in a week. We all have the same amount of hours in a week. So that's what we have to deal with, right? So, okay, so what do you want in your week? What do you want your week to look like? How much work, how much kids, how much, taking care of yourself with the baby, your body, whatever. And then you have to be really honest with yourself, right? Of like, what do I prioritize over other things? But once you can say, okay, I want more of this, this, da, 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 and then you have an honest picture. Okay, so if I have this amount of time for my work, then, or not, whatever, what do you want? What do I want to create? And then what's beautiful about writing that down, you see it on paper and you're like, okay, clear. Right. Yeah. We get to the core of what it is, what it truly is. Because when we're in that, not enough, like there's no clarity. Right. The grass is always greener somewhere else. When you get that clarity, you can start watering, and start appreciating what you got. So get clear on what you want. Then we go into self-love. That's step 2. So step 1 is charting, getting clarity. Step 2 is taking care of yourself. Yeah. Okay. So, because we never take care enough of ourselves. Like, I don't know, some goddesses are like good at that, but there's always more we can do to take care of ourselves, right? Especially as moms. So I help people make a self-love toolbox, which is very simple. It's just like writing all the things down that make you feel good. Scan our body, see like if there's anything that needs attention, healing, and understand that self-love, which I think your people will understand, is like it feels good to feel good, right? But also intuition whispers. So intuition will be much louder or clearer to hear. It's not loud, it's clearer when we are at peace, right?
Oh, 100%.
So emotions scream and intuition whispers. And so that's why we do the self-love also, to hear the intuition better, right? Those are the shivers and the tears and the divine like guidance that comes in when we are not stressed.
Oh yeah.
Start there.
Yeah, I had experience with that already. And I've always been intuitive my whole life, even when I was a little girl. I was born with my gifts, and it was brought down ancestrally, through my maternal lineages as well.
I love that.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I feel very blessed to have them. Recently had like a major change in my life. It's when I was pregnant with my daughter, and then at that time, my partner was living in another state, and then he came in to like, live with us and like be a family unit. But there was so many changes that happened.
Yeah.
And I was catering to my boys, to the pregnancy, to my partner, that I forgot about myself.
Right.
And when I forgot about myself, I lost all my intuition. I couldn't feel anything. I couldn't feel my baby.
Wow.
I didn't have any messages coming from my baby, and I'm like, what is happening? And when I would work on clients, like I barely worked on any clients during that pregnancy. It would be like a little bit here and there,
Right.
and I was so confused. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening to me? And it shook me. It shook me a lot, and it took me some time to come back to myself. And yeah, the hormones did play a part in it too, because I was going like up and down, and then like giving birth and then breastfeeding, and just everything was just chaotic. But the thing was that after I gave birth and I was breastfeeding, I did this womb healing, and I stayed committed to it. But after I did that womb healing, I felt like
you came back
again. Yeah,
and you needed that. Yeah, but it's crazy. But you know what it's like to be intuitive. I believe that we're all intuitive to some, in some way, but we're so disconnected. And so your example is just perfect of like self-love will increase your intuition, right? And the reason why we don't hear the intuition is because we're stressed. We're like, just scarcity. We're all over the place. We're trying to accommodate everyone else, which you did in the family, but we do that all the time. We care about what everyone else says. Of course, we're not going to hear, right, the inner whispering. So very powerful to do that. So self-love is step number 2. And also we create better in peace. And this is a very powerful one, is that we were taught to believe that when we punish ourselves, like hurting ourselves, hitting ourselves, that we'll do better next time. And that's why we're stressing. Is we're punishing ourselves because we think we didn't do good enough, or we're not good enough. And so we're punishing ourselves. I believe stress is self-punishment, that we will do better next time if we're stressing. We'll do better next time if we punish ourselves. And I believe the opposite. I believe we'll do better, we'll create better from peace, right? We have better connection, we have better inspiration, we have more joy, right? We will create from that place, self-love. And then the third one is intuition. Right. So like, let's say all the things that we wrote down for you, just like hypothetically, of all the things that you wanted, then the intuition is going to guide you. Right. And we're going to set goals that are like aligned with your inner knowing. So that you're not going to run in circles and do things because you think you're supposed to do them, but do things because they're fully aligned. And so that's why I take everything into account, right? Not just more views, more posts, more, more visibility, more courses. Like, you may feel that intuitively that you want to create those things, and then they're going to happen. But like, in what combination, like, and in what like vibration are they going to happen?
Right.
Yeah. Which is then the next step of like, of like doing it, but from that alignment. And then after acting, which is setting goals and planning and doing, it's again aligning, which is basically going back to the beginning of like, checking in with yourself and making sure you're aligned with the universe. Because that's how we make it ring.
Yes.
Right?
I'm having so many like aha moments.
Oh, good. Yes. Good.
Yeah.
That's what I do with people.
Oh, you're amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I do great work. I can see it. Yeah, it's amazing. And we need it. And we need it. And it's like I say, people don't recognize themselves after 3 months. Right? Or like my client that I'm working with for 2 years now, she was saying like, my kids don't love me. And after 3 months, she's like, what was I saying? Like, what was I even? But she believed it for years, right? Yeah. We believe these things for years.
It's amazing, right? Like our beliefs and programs and
how it's holding us back. it's always ourselves who's in our own way, right? But the one thing that I always say to people is that it's not your fault. It's not, like I think it's, I don't know if it's mainly Christian, but I grew up Christian, so it's like this sinfulness, of us being sinful, that there's something wrong with us. Like, I don't believe that. I like, it's not us. It's, we were born into the society that says we're never good enough and that there's not enough. And so we're programmed with that. I think that's our ego. It's the programming of what we've listened to, right? But it's not us. And that's a relief. You're like, oh, nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
None of us, everyone is like amazing, right? We just have to see our beauty again.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to see your beauty when you realize, like, oh wait, I'm programmed that way, but I'm supposed to be here in abundance.
That I love that so much, because I just had a conversation recently with my two boys. So I homeschool them.
Yeah, amazing.
Also, we're using this curriculum that has, Jesus and God and things like that. But whenever those things come into play, I always tell them, like, oh, you can think of it as God's source. I try not to make it the religious, white man in the sky, right? And
that is judging us.
Right, yeah. And I told them, because they were curious, they're like, oh, God, Jesus, what church should we go to? And I was like, oh, because they started hearing church from like their other peers. And I was like, oh, well, you guys can go to a church, but there are different types of churches. And I'll tell you my experience, because I grew up Catholic, and I would go to Sunday school every Sunday, and they would just pound us with, you're born a sinner. You're born with all these sins, and you must repent, and all of these things. And I remember when I would hear these things, I'm like, I thought we're God's children.
Yeah.
Like God would never do that to her children.
No.
Like I would never do that to my children.
Yeah, I get goosebumps when you say that. It's like, no. And like, if we are, I don't know how you say it in English, because I learned it in Dutch, but it's like, yeah, according to his image, right? If they say that, whatever it all means, but like, according to his image, like, I'm like, so why are we sinful when we are like him or her, or, the grade, whatever. It's like, why would that be even a thing? But it's so ingrained in our culture. Like, everyone believes that it's like, it's us. There's something wrong with us. And so, yeah, when you realize, like, no, it's not us, it's just the way everyone has been talking to you, whether it's like politics, dividing, whether it's like trying to sell you something, whether it's like trying to overpower you. And even like, you can see with kids, when you want your kid to do something and they are not doing it, then you might want to control them. And controlling, power works pretty good. Controlling, right? It's like either slapping or like putting them in, timeout, or whatever you're doing to control, because it is a faster way to be powerful over, and to make them do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
So that makes sense that even the best, intentioned parents would do that. But if we could have some patience, and also see that fast way is because you're stressed about other things and don't want to take time and don't have the time, right, to do it, which is that scarcity. And you can be like, oh, let me just do that slowly. Oh, let me just like take a deep breath. Oh, let me just, get to their level. Like, kids want to do the right thing. But they might drop a glass on the ground like 5 times just to see what happens, just to understand, because like, they're the researchers.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, sometimes it's frustrating. Like, because you're like, oh God, more to clean up, whatever. But like, if we could have that patience, like, they're just trying their best. Like, they really don't have bad intentions, but we're telling them, and then they're going to believe it.
Yeah. And then they believe they're bad, and then they take that in, and
then they start acting like it.
Bad things. Yeah.
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 It's sad, and because it is, that's just one small thing, but it has so much effect. And the good thing is, again, we can shift in a second in our mind and be like, oh no, I'm going to focus on the good. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to, I don't know, build forward on abundance again.
Oh yeah.
So we can do that at any moment.
Yes. Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. I'm like so excited.
Good.
So excited about this conversation.
Good.
Gosh.
I'm so glad.
I'm so excited for everyone to like listen to this. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I need to get this out now.
Yes, people need to hear it. Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes, yes. You know, sometimes I'm wondering, it's like, why is it so hard to get across? Because it's so simple,
Yeah.
right? And like, you know, because I launched my Courage Club. I launched it in end of March, and I had 7 people sign up,
Okay.
which I don't have such a big audience, so like, great. But then I tried to launch it again. Like, I just wanted to have, like, you know, 2 months in, a new group of people, or 3 months, and no one signed up. And I have testimonials, and I've been talking about it now for months, and it's like, huh? Why is this so hard to get across?
Right.
It's like you're saying, it's so obvious and it's so good, and you want to live in that space, and I can teach you how to do that
Yeah.
in a very loving, you know, like, way that also kind of pushes you to go for, you know, to go for what you really want. And whatever, that's my own process, but it is interesting to see, like, you know, how deeply we've been programmed.
Yeah. Well, you know what I have noticed with my experience, you know, doing energy healings on people is that they just want that quick fix. Like, you know, people come in for that one session,
Right.
and they're like, fix me, right? And then I give them aftercare suggestions to do.
Right.
You know, I'm like, okay, to continue this, this is what I suggest. You know, take or leave it, tweak it a little bit, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Align it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they come back the next week and they're like, I'm feeling the same thing again. I'm like, well, what did you do?
Mm-hmm.
Anything?
Well, that's the
And they're
whole
like,
thing
no.
here. Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not a pill that you just. I mean, you can take a pill, but then you're still gonna go through the same stuff.
It's just later. Yeah. It will be more intense, and will be like build up. And yeah, but you know, that's also what a lot of doctors say. It's like, yeah, you know, I can suggest some lifestyle changes, but most people won't do that. So I'm giving them the pill to just manage, you know. And then people are, you know, living in like a half fog, half depression, half whatever they are living in. Yeah, if you want to do that, I mean, you can, but I don't think I never know what word to use, because I don't know if it's a quick fix or a cheat code, but, you know, I think when you follow your intuition, I think that's a leap to, whether it's a quantum leap or shortcut or whatever. Like, I do believe that intuition is something that can really level you up to a whole other thing, which is what brought me here in the desert. But also, like, setting that solid foundation and unlearning everything that you've been learning for the last 30, you know, 40, 20 years, like, that takes some work, but it's good work. It's fun work. It's fun to see the miracles. It's fun to see your own power.
Yes.
And that quick fix that everyone wants, like, it's just, I don't know what I wanted to say something about it. I don't know what I want to say about it, but it's just ridiculous. It just doesn't work that way. It's not sustainable.
Yeah, because they want someone to do the work for them.
Yeah. But the power is the work. Like, that's where the magic is. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you're able to manifest things. That's how you're able to, you know, go through those quantum leaps and get in touch with your intuition
and see the miracles everywhere. This is what I wanted to say. It's like, people take mushrooms or ayahuasca or whatever, right? And they're like, woo, like, I'm in touch with source and I get it now. And I've seen how everyone is connected and whatever. And we're all one. But they don't take time to integrate. Or they would be like mushroom, you know, ceremony after something else. And I'm like, God, I need like months, if not years, to integrate that one, you know, like that one session that I did. Yeah. So I'm like, no, what about you take the time and you actually take in everything that you learn and integrate it? And that's, I know that's the work that I do. I do the integration. Like this is what I love about the act is like in real life, right? I support you through real life challenges so that in your real life, you'll make change and there's healing. Like I totally believe in all these other modalities of healing. And I have a great coach also who's doing like chakra healing. I have another session with him on Monday. Looking forward to it. And that's actually like, those are like in one session and you're like, wow, you know, something became whole in my body again. So I totally am into that. But I also believe like a big part of our healing happens in real life, like happens through the actions that we have. Because, you know, you want to learn how to do public speaking and like show up and not be afraid to, you know, and not second guess yourself. Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Just gotta do it. And this is quick. It's quicker than you think because I always see people the first time they do something new that they've never done, scared as hell. The second time, still like kind of like, oh goodness, am I doing this again? The third time, it's like, oh, that's easy for me. What are you talking about? That's like nothing. I'm like, 3 weeks ago, you were scared to death.
Yeah.
And now this is what you're saying. Just realize that because something else might scare you. Just remember that happened, you know? So it's like 3 times is what it takes in action. It's not that long, you know? It's not that big. It's not that dramatic. You can do it. I think that's the thing. You can do it.
Yeah.
You know, you can go through it. You can enjoy the process. You can do the healing.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We just need more of you. We need more of you.
More people come in my thing. Yes. Well, I'm here. I'm doing it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And
thank you.
Yeah, I'm so glad because whenever my friend told me about you, I was like, oh, okay. And then I had like this, you know, my intuition was like, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah.
And then I messaged you, and then when you were telling me, like just in the messages, I was like, oh, very interesting. This sounds very intriguing. And then you invited us here, and you know, I had these blockages that were like, no, don't travel. You're pregnant. Just do it from home.
Right.
It's easier, you know. And then I just stopped myself and I was like, you know what? F that. I'm going to listen to my intuition. So I was like canceling out all this noise. Yeah. My intuition said, do it. What's wrong?
Yeah. Well, yes. And again, the scarcity, right? Holding us back. The intuition, the stronger it is, and in your case, very strong, you know, it's like showing us the other way. Yeah. Like, do it. Like, we're afraid to do the hard thing or the hard thing. You're in the car for 3 hours, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Hard enough, right? Especially pregnant. But it's like we didn't come here for easy. That's also what I say. We didn't sign up for easy. We like the challenge. Like, be honest. Like, everyone likes a challenge. Like, we like to be challenged and grow.
It's more fulfilling.
It's more fulfilling, right? It's fulfilling. And of course we can pick, you know, we don't have to jump on every plane to go everywhere, but you know, there is something instilled in our heart of like, I want to do this, right? In this case, it's a podcast, something small, okay, drive out or not. But, you know, sometimes it's something bigger, like I want to start this business or whatever it is, or this healing practice or study something, right? And we didn't sign up for easy. Like, we like to be, you know, to go through that journey of like becoming.
Yes.
That is like, that's where life happens.
Yeah.
And then we get to like experience the joy and the emotions and like move through everything and get to know new people. And I don't know, just this beauty.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I love it. And I feel like you have so many stories and I would love to hear them all. But what else do you do? So we have the coach, you have your fashion brand in Africa.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you a story of how I came here.
Okay. Yes.
And that includes the fashion brand. And I'm actually wearing this. You can see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Organic cotton, naturally printed and dyed.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. and that's also, you also asked me like how, how did I get to be actress C, right? So let me see where I start. I studied conflict studies and human rights. So I care about like war and why people fight and why, like the real human psychology of like, well, the most terrible things happening in the world, right? And that was like the one thing that really captured me. I was like, why? How does this happen? So I studied that and I did my research in Rwanda. And when I was in Rwanda, where there was a genocide in 1994, I was like, who am I as a white girl, I was 20 something, coming here to like dig in someone's trauma, right? It's like, what are we thinking? It's so, and I don't know if neocolonialism or, that was a thing back then, not in my studies, obviously. It's like a very Western like gaze. But I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, we're so arrogant as like Europeans to do these things. And so I was in Rwanda and I said, what if we could create something very beautiful together and, just bring it to Europe and show a different image of Africa at that time. There was no WhatsApp, no Instagram. So I moved into fashion and wanted to create something beautiful, right? Where we see eye to eye and we create fair trade things. And I learned a lot of things along the way about cultural appropriation and appreciation and all these different things, like navigating this as a white woman. But then 2017 came and I got sued, and 2018 was like my Saturn return.
Wow. Okay.
And the longest year of my life. Like, it was so intense. Where it was like halfway through, I was like, how long is this gonna, like, we're only half through this year. This is such a long year. So much is happening. It's so dramatic. Wow. So I had like my relationship was very hard in that year. I started working with a coach who taught me some of these things that I'm paying forward. My company was sued by a multinational, like a huge company, said like, cease and desist, you cannot use these prints anymore, because what we were using was African prints. We were using like these colorful prints that we bought at the market at the time. And so turns out they were, and this is a side story, so see if you follow. Turns out these African prints, fabrics that we were buying on the local market were copies of this Dutch company called Flisco that brought the technique from Indonesia, and they designed the prints, but then China and India were copying these prints and selling them on the local markets. Oh, wow. Okay, so I was buying copyrighted prints, not knowing, and the sellers at the market were, this is from Nigeria, this is from, Congo, this is from Tanzania. So I didn't know where they were really coming from. Turned out there were half of my new collection that I had spent so much money on was like copies. And so I had to stop with that. And I basically, took me a long time to realize that I didn't have a business anymore, because my business would be like, go there, buy some fabrics, go to the tailors, we had a team of tailors, make something beautiful, sell it, small batches. Couldn't do that anymore because I didn't know which ones were copies and which ones weren't. And altogether, it wasn't really ethical anymore, right? Where it was coming from. So that year, I started to work with my coach. My relationship ended. My business basically was bankrupt, and I was like $100,000 in debt. And I had learned to be more intuitive. So basically, what I learned in that year was that everything that I tried to do rationally didn't work out, because I was really working my ass off. Didn't work. So I was like, let me try a different strategy. Also, because what I learned, I did this course, it was kind of like a landmark. Thought was like, God, maybe I'm wrong. I thought we were supposed to follow our heart and do the right thing, but apparently that's not a thing, Apparently it's not working, because it wasn't working for me. I was broke and burned out and alone. And so then I was at that course, and there were all these other people doing the same, and I saw like, wow, everyone wants to follow their heart. Everyone wants to do the right thing, but most people don't even dare, like I did. So that renewed my trust in like what I was doing. But then I said, okay, I'm not going to do the rational, logical thing anymore. I'm going to do the intuition thing. And my heart said, I want to go to America.
Wow.
And so that summer, My relationship ended. I wasn't living with him anymore. I lived in this like beautiful little castle like house in Amsterdam for 4 months. And then that ended. So I didn't have a house. I didn't have money. And there was like €500 on my bank account. I was like, oh, I can buy a ticket to New York and LA and come back. So my last money, I didn't even have money to like spend in New York and LA, which are so expensive.
Right.
And San Francisco, and I decided to go. So no money, buy that flight, just say like, no, my intuition says I want to go to New York. I had a friend who invited me to stay with him for 2 weeks. I was like, okay, that's what I'm doing. And most irrational decision, right? If anyone knew what was on my bank account and what kind of drama I was in financially and in my business, they would be like, that's the voices, the scarcity voices. And I was like, no, I'm going to do something else. Like, let's see. And that's how I came here to LA. And then and then my intention was to meet friends of friends. So on Facebook in 2018, I was like, friends of friends, who can I meet? And so I got set up with all these different people everywhere, which is wonderful. And one of them was Doug.
Oh, wow.
And that's my husband that lives here. And so one of my friends was like, oh, if you're in LA, you should go visit Doug. He lives in Wonder Valley. He has hot springs. He's an interesting business guy, good connections. Because I was really looking like for business, also like business feedback. Like what is possible and what am I worth? That was kind of my idea. And especially on the West Coast, I wanted to like find kind of the goddess vibe. I didn't know I was looking for the goddess vibe, but I wanted to like the cross between like femininity and spirituality kind of. That was what was pulling me here. So I meet Doug and in Wonder Valley, and it's beautiful here. And he knows a lot about business. Like he gives me really good business advice. And then he also knows everything about the goddess for some reason. Like he studied the goddess. So he was like telling me all the things I wanted to know.
Wow.
And the moment I saw him, I was like, oh, this is not going to go anywhere. Like this is never going to happen. But then of course he's a great salesman and he knew everything about the goddess. So that combination got me. And so fast forward, this is 7 years, I think 7 years ago, 2018 and 2025. Yeah, 7 years ago, here we are. So that leap was a total intuitive leap, and it was a total quantum leap for me. Because not only did I meet the love of my life, I also moved to another country, which is crazy. And I told Doug, I'm never going to live in Wonder Valley. I was like, we can live in New York, LA, San Francisco. I didn't have clear vision, but I was like somewhere else. And then COVID happened, and then I came here because we were dating overseas for months. And then I came here and it's like, oh, this is actually pretty great. During COVID is the best place to be. So we were here and then I was here for 3 months during COVID. And then I either had to go home on my visa or stay, but then we had to get married. So they were like, okay, we'll get married, which is kind of crazy, but intuitive. And so, yeah, life really got easy when I started to follow my intuition. So that's a big part of my coaching. In the Be Act Receive, intuition is a very, very big thing. Wow. And like I said, I believe you were born with it and you have it from generations, and there must be so many different kinds of intuition, but I believe we all have that superpower.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just covered under a lot of noise and bullshit. And so, unlayering is how I see it, is what we do in the Courage Club to really get to the core of what you truly want. But if we keep saying, oh, that's not smart to do, that's, what will other people think of it, we will not be able to cultivate a relationship with our intuition. And so I was there, Saturn return. I was like, no, I'm going to do it all different. And so I meet the love of my life. So, financially, I don't have a problem anymore. One, because he's, providing. And two, because he's also very he gets me, and he could tell me look, this is what he told me when I met him. And I was always I had maybe a side hustle here and there, but I was really going for my business. So I had almost no money because the business one wasn't making me any money. I don't know, maybe €600 a month, maybe 900, very, very little money a month that I was living off then, or nothing. And so he was telling me, listen, when you are trying to do the right thing, when you're building a business for good, you have to have a side hustle, because it's hard to build that. You don't only have to build a product, you also have to convince people to do the right thing. So it's going to be a long game. So you have to have the side hustles. And so I did the American thing in Holland. I had got 2 jobs, which is not a thing in Holland. I got 2 jobs. I worked in a PR firm and I worked in a restaurant. I actually really enjoyed it. But he was the one who could really tell me, because other people told me like, you should get a job. And it really felt like, oh, so you think I should not follow my heart? I should not do my business.
Right.
But he got me. So that was one thing that also really helped me. And then I did something else, which is also very intuitive and very powerful, which is also in my Be Act Receive, right? I integrate everything that I have experienced. And so I felt my intuition saying I still wanted to continue with my fashion brand after I met Doug. Like I still felt it. I was in Holland. I was working in a restaurant, working in the PR firm. And I said to the universe, this is the universal no. I said, okay, I feel this fire in my heart. But I'm not going to do it if you're not giving me a shitload of money. Like, no. Like, you better make sure I get paid. So, and meanwhile, I'm just going to work these 2 jobs and pay myself, right? And make sure that I can eat and I can go on a vacation or something and like provide for myself. So, oh my God, so many stories here. So many. Because I also got a free house in Amsterdam.
Wow.
For like months. Yeah.
Yeah.
For my boss at the PR firm. So the universe, the receiving, universe provides. And then we get something like that. And then it's like, no, I don't deserve it. How am I ever going to pay her back? Blah, blah, blah. Right. And instead, like later on, I realized like, oh no, that was the universe paying me, taking care of me. Right. As I was figuring it out, as I was taking care of myself. So we don't receive when we're like, how am I ever going to pay her back? And we do receive if we say like, wow, whatever way the money comes in a house or, and I feel this in my body when I say this. So this is like a powerful thing. It was definitely for me. So I said to the universe, listen, I'm just going to do these jobs. And, if you want to pay me, great, because then I'll continue. I feel it. I feel that I want to do this, but not under these circumstances. Right. And 3 weeks later, my ex-business partner, who, by the way, also quit in that like longest year, right? Ex-business partner started to work for the Dutch government. And he calls me up and I say, Sivan, they have money for you here. Let me connect you with someone. He connects me with someone. And that guy is basically like selling me a grant. Like he's like, yes, you're perfect. Let us give it to you. $160,000 euros on my account. Like 6 months later.
Wow.
While I'm at Burning Man. When things happen. So that's it, right? We have this power to negotiate with the universe.
Yes.
And that is that intuition of like knowing this is what I want to do, right? Even like being pregnant and wanting to put out all these courses or whatever, right? It's like, yeah, universe, I'm going to do it. Like I feel it in my heart. That's my intuition. But, first I want to take care of how I feel in my body and how I feel with my kids and, whatever else is important. So help me, send me support or, someone who can help me edit or whatever it is that you need. You can still fulfill what you want to do, but can it please be a little bit easier? And it can be. So then I got that insane amount of, are we still good? Are you enjoying this?
Yeah, I love it.
I just want to like go to the fabric because Doug also said to me, which is another quantum leap from that relationship, right? So I told you about the love of my life, the financial situation in many different ways, the jobs, the grant, just being with him. But then also what he said to me, which was very powerful, is that he said, Sivan, you're doing the right thing, like how you're working with people, right? Ethical and seeing eye to eye and equality and all these things. Justice. Yes. But you can't close your eyes to the rest of the value chain. So, you can't just look at your atelier and make sure that these people are paid well. Like you have to do it everywhere. And you have to use organic cotton because, the rest is like shit. As we know, like there's like many, many farmers that are killing themselves every year in India because their crop is just completely dead. Their lands are completely dead because they're using Monsanto and like pesticides and it just kills their lands, right? So he's like, you can't do that. You can't close your eyes for that part of the value chain while you're doing something good in this one. And I told him, God, this is already hard enough. Like, how am I ever going to do more? Like, I'm already doing something hard. Like, and he's like, no, when you do the right thing all the way, 100%. Other people are going to meet you there, which is who met me, right? With the grant of 160,000
Right. Yeah.
euros. So I wrote a business plan to create, like, to buy organic cotton. So what I told you about the fabric that I used to work with, right? It was the African print, and we bought at the local markets, which was coming from overseas, was not organic, was not transparent, was a copy of someone else's, design, and it wasn't even made in Africa. So like nothing made sense about it, right? But I was holding on to it because it was easier. And so instead I said, okay, so the cotton needs to come from Africa, East Africa, preferably, where I am. It needs to be organic. It needs to be woven locally. It needs to be designed locally. It needs to be printed locally. It needs to be made locally, right? All the things. And so I got that grant and I did that. And so we bought organic cotton raw from Tanzania, where they are growing it in a regenerative way, and organically, and with rain fed, so it's not depleting any rivers or waters. And then in Rwanda, they wove it and printed it. And I worked with a Rwandan designer. It's not this print, it's a different print, who made the print that I used. And I launched my first organic cotton collection. So that also brought everything to another level, right? Which Doug, like a lot of things happened through him.
Wow.
As in with his guidance. So all that from a completely irrational, financially crazy decision. And so, there's all these other lessons about money, but that was like, intuition is such a powerful tool.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got that Be Actress seat. What are you thinking?
Feeling so many things.
What are you feeling?
You could tell I got super emotional, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I could just feel that was what you were supposed to do.
Right.
And like having that courage to just leap into your heart, your soul, your intuition.
Yeah.
That's amazing. A lot of people don't know how to do that.
I know, but you have to.
Exactly.
You have to.
And you're living proof of it.
I'm living proof, and it's like,
hello, people.
It's expensive, and that's where I want to say, about abundance. Do I have 1,000 people in my Courage Club? Not yet, right? Am I making whatever amounts per year? Not yet. Am I living a freaking amazing life? Yes. We just were in Africa, Kenya, and Rwanda on this beautiful trip. And then in Holland with my family. Like in 2 weeks, I'm going to Bali. Like, I'm living my dream. I live on hot springs. Like, this is so beautiful. I have no financial stress at all, because of that's my family situation right now. And I am grateful for it. I get to work with amazing coaches. I get to sit here with you doing this podcast. I have such an amazing community of moms that are all breastfeeding, just like me. Like, I'm already breastfeeding for 3 years. I'm sure we're on the same page here. So, and all these moms are doing that and are like-minded, and we meet each other every Friday as at the gathering. I found an amazing teacher for my daughter. So 2 days a week, she comes to our house, and then other friends of hers come too, and they all play together. And this woman is she's the best. She teaches them emotional intelligence and how to feel their body and how to communicate their feelings. So the way she talks, that's I have a high standard of how I want people to talk to my kid, and she is doing she's sometimes even doing it better than me, where I'm saying, once I said to my child, I'm sorry mommy makes you feel bad because she's going to a cacao ceremony, or it's going away, and Tori our teacher came to babysit Leaf because Doug was out of town. And I said to her, I'm sorry I make you feel bad. And so Leaf said it to the teacher, the babysitter, that night. She says, mommy made me feel bad because she went away. And Tori says to her, no, mommy cannot make you feel bad. Mommy's taking care of herself. Mommy's not making you feel bad. You have a decision, you can play and enjoy and pass the time with me, or whatever, whatever you want to do. And I was like, you're right. I cannot claim that I make her feel bad. She may be sad about it, but that was my own medicine, because I tell people that, we take full responsibility over our own part. And so I found that teacher, and we live in the middle of freaking nowhere, or in the middle of everything, but we are very remote here. You know that. So, people told Doug, you're never going to meet your woman living out here in the desert. And I came to his doorstep. Right? Like, and people would say, like, how are you ever going to find a teacher? Or like, what is your child going to do? It's going to be alone. It's like, I can see my child is very social. She needs her friends. So I'm going to find a teacher who can, have her and all these other kids. And sometimes there's 10 kids coming to my house, to just like teach, play, and learn together. And so anything you can imagine can become true. And I'm living that. And so that's like, there's no point in limiting it to like, how much money do you make? Or like, whatever. Like I said, wealth can come in many different ways. And sometimes women don't dare to like, just, relax into the fact that a husband is paying for things. Right? Because we feel like, oh, it needs to be 50-50 in this emancipated, like, or this like equal world. No, it doesn't have to be. Right? And we can say like, wow, while I am building what my heart is asking me to build, I'm getting support. Great. While we're also mothering, by the way, and doing all these other things for our community and everything else. So like, there's so much we contribute that, can we receive what's being given to us? And see that, like that house, right? Or like whatever it is that people are offering us.
Yeah. And if you don't receive, you don't take it in, then the universe is going to see that as, oh, she doesn't want it.
But yeah, it's just like, you gotta
stop giving her things.
Yeah. And then it will always give you things, by the way. But yeah, no, it's definitely a relationship. Like, you'll get more the more you're like, okay, thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the same with intuition also. The more we practice it, the more we will feel it and hear it and see it and follow it.
Yes.
And I mean, that's better than any pill or any mushroom journey, right? Where you're like, oh, I have to take this in order to feel something. No, you like, we are always connected to the divine. Always. Just a matter of like, where are you? Right? What are you focusing on?
100%, 1000%. I resonate with all of that so deeply. Oh my gosh. And I wish I could like touch up on a lot of these things, but we all want to know, where can we find more of you? Like, how can we get in contact with you? How can we do your Courage Club and just like stay in touch? Like,
yeah,
give us all those details.
I mean, I think the easiest way is Instagram.
Okay.
I think that's the easiest way. Sivan B. It's
Sivan
six letters. Yeah. Sivan B. SIVAN B. That's me. DM me, comment, join the Courage Club. It's on there. You'll get it from me. Yeah, that's, I think, the easiest place. I'm still working on my website, which is sivanb.com. So you can go there. The brand is not selling right now, so that will come whenever it's ready. It's very slow fashion at the moment. And it's another example of what I was saying about like, does it all have to happen now, or is there other things that are prioritized?
Divine timing too.
Divine timing. And so that's going to come. But yeah, Instagram is the best place. And then you can find all the other things. And I would love to welcome people into the Courage Club. If you're ready to do the work and receive and not recognize yourself in 3 months' time, like, are you ready for real transformation? Come.
Baby. Yeah.
And if you want to dive deeper with me, we can do one-on-one also, right? We can go, like, I like to do linguistic surgery. That's what I call it. Scarcity surgery. So I can really like just listen to a couple sentences and be like, oh, there you go. There's your scarcity. And, just break these patterns, like, by just listening to how people talk, because they are speaking their scarcity always. We are all doing it. So it's good to do that. And, let me tell you this too. In September, I don't know when you're launching this, but in September, I want to do another success circle, which is what I did in January. We started the year like that. It's 30-day challenge of writing your successes every day. And I'm going to explain all of that. That's what I do right in the beginning when I start coaching people. So it's a very powerful tool. And for 30 days, everyone is sharing their successes, probably in a WhatsApp group or something like that. And you will see that's mindset work, right? How our mind shifts from things that aren't working, that aren't good, into like focusing more on everything that we're actually doing right, which is 99% of the day. We're doing the right thing. So that's a very powerful and low key challenge that everyone can join.
Beautiful.
So that will be on my Instagram too.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes, it's powerful. It's amazing. I love it. And I had 85 people join me in January. So let's see what we have now. Yes, it's so cool. It's like, you know how on Instagram everyone is like, look how amazing my life is, kind of, or sometimes it feels like that when you're looking at other people's life because we're mostly sharing what's going well. But it's very performative. In the success circle, it's like you're writing your successes, but that could also be I identified this mistake, or like, oh, I learned this new lesson, or, you know, like I learned this about myself. So it's much more vulnerable. And it's like really, I mean, when you read everyone's success, it's just like, oh, everyone is just such a beautiful being and they're just doing their best and they want to do good, you know? So it's a really wonderful, like, alternative for social media platforms, like the real thing, but then positive. So that's cool.
That's beautiful. So I'll gather all of that information up and include the Wonder Valley Hot Springs and your fashion brand, and I will put it in the description, guys, so that way it'll be easier for you guys to just click on it and go to her right away and do the work.
Yay. Oh, and I want to say about Wonder Valley, like we have 14 houses here. So people can come and stay and soak in the hot springs. Like every house has its own beautiful stone carved tub that you can soak in sunrise, sunset, moon rises, you know, and this is what I want to offer in the future, like, you know, a private retreat where people can just come and stay and they'll do a few sessions with me. But like come to this desert because it's such a powerful place for transformation, for seeing yourself like clearly, for like going deep. So whether you go on your own or you reach out to me and we do a session, like that's also an option. Find me in the desert.
Beautiful.
Find me in the desert. Yes.
I love it.
It's great. Wonder Valley Hot Springs. I love it here. It's like, Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here and being on this podcast and sharing your offerings, your story, your energy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I told you this is my first podcast in America.
Yes.
So I'm very honored and I'm very grateful and I love what you're doing. So
thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Everything that you're doing too. Like, oh my gosh. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I feel like I gotta ground and integrate this too.
Good.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Till then.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.